Oh, what a beautiful day. What should we take, the car camper or the van camper? I think we're going to take the van today. Yeah. I got a new hat. Do you like it? I'm not really sure, but it's good because it covers like the whole way around my head from the sun, and I get sunburnt really easily, so it's decent. Look how much space we've got. It's amazing. Oh dear. So that just there is like a fold-up camp bed. Yeah, it just folds out and I can sleep on it. Right then, let's go on an adventure in the van. This is the first time I've actually driven the van, I think, since I got it back from the place where I bought it from. So, quite excited. There's a few things I need to do today. I need to fill up the van with fuel. I need to go and buy some bits and pieces from a shop, by which point I'll probably be quite hungry, and then I'm going to try and find some food to eat. Let's check out the sound system in here. It's not as good as the Polo. It just doesn't sound quite as bassy and nice. It's interesting driving the van. It kind of just feels a little bit different. I feel a bit bigger. I feel stronger. I feel like a man. I am a man, and I'm a man with a van. The van I've got is a VW Caddy Maxi, so it's the long wheelbase version of like the Caddy. And I really wanted to get this particular van because it's big enough to convert into a camper, but it's not too big that it's gonna be tricky to drive around busy places. My spatial awareness is maybe not so great, and I did actually, when I was trying to park my car a few years ago, I bumped into a BMW, and that wasn't fun. And it's because I just didn't realise how close I was to it, and I didn't realise how big my car was, and my car wasn't even very big. So yeah, I was very careful. I was like, I don't really want to go for a massive, great big van, because I will just hit someone by accident while I'm trying to park. So that's sort of why I went for the Caddy that I'm driving today. I basically just wanted to test it out on the road, test it out in the back, maybe do some camping in it, and just see how it feels. I wanted to get a rough idea for what I want to do to the van, how I want to convert it, how I want it to be, you know. And I think I'll only get a better sense of that if I go out in it and try it out. So that's what I'm doing today. Da 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 da. Fuel. Oh, holy crap! That's not even a full tank. That's like 3/4 of a tank. 85 quid. Now, fuel prices are very high at the moment. It'd be very easy to moan and groan and get all flustered about it, but I don't think that's going to change anything. I don't know, what are you supposed to do? I'm just going to accept it and move on. Let's go shopping. Halfords, it's like a car, all sorts store. This is what we're looking for. Basically, it's just a light and it's got a magnet there. So I can use it and stick it onto the side of the van. There's like a temporary setup before I install like proper LEDs in the roof. Ooh, wow. It's quite bright, that's perfect. I wouldn't even know what to do with any of this, but I just want it anyway. It looks so shiny and nice. Never thought I'd be in Halfords geeking out about tools. I have no idea about. I got myself 2 magnetic lights, so I can stick this to... What? Nothing in my car is magnetic. There's not, even under that, there's not. My car is just made of plastic. Oh, there we go, we can stick them together. I think in the back, there is some magnetic surfaces that I can stick this to. I hope there is. It's nice ticking off things off your to-do list. Even if it's just little things like buying a light. Feels good. Ah, yes, that's what I'm gonna do today. I'm gonna go for a really nice walk in the woods. Let's go for a walk in the woods. What am I gonna need then? Got my rucksack, mushroom foraging book. I think walking is kind of my default thing that I do when I don't know what else to do. Like if I'm ever a bit bored or I'm feeling down, I just go for a walk. It's just what I do, because as soon as you step outside, especially on a nice spring day like today, and you just look around, you realise that there is a lot of beauty in the world. Like, check out all those bluebell flowers. It's like a sea of blue right now. And it looks amazing. But today I'm not only walking, I'm keeping my eyes out for a very particular type of mushroom, which we'll hopefully find very soon. Let me tell you a little story about a boy and his mushroom obsession. Now, 3 years ago, I spent every day looking for mushrooms. Every day I'd go for a walk and I would try and find a mushroom that I could eat. Weeks and weeks passed because I was looking for mushrooms in the spring, which is typically not the best time to look for mushrooms. But there was one species which I knew grew in the spring. It's called chicken of the woods, Latiporus sulphurus. In Latin, I think that's how you say it. There it is, that one just there, crazy looking orange thing. But yeah, I learned that these mushrooms do grow in the spring, and I was on the lookout for this exact species when one very lucky day in May, I stumbled across one of these mushrooms. I can't believe what I've just found. After months of looking for some edible mushrooms, I found chicken of the woods, and not just that bit there. Oh, look at that! I was just so excited. I was like, I found treasure. I found this thing that I've been looking for weeks, and it was an incredible feeling, and that's sort of what kicked off my interest in looking for edible mushrooms and edible food in the woods. Anyway, 1 year later, it was springtime again, and I was like, I want to try and find the chicken of the woods again. And I heard that often if you find one of these mushrooms on a tree, it'll often grow back. You can go back to the same spot and find it again, because it's kind of infected the tree. I think it's a parasitic fungi, so it's attacking that tree and it's living on it. So the following spring I went back to the same spot in hope that I would see it again, but it wasn't there. It was just non-existent. It looked like there had never been a chicken of the woods there ever. It was pretty sad, but I kept my spirits high, and the following year I looked in the same spot again, but once again it was no longer there, and I thought, okay, it's just never gonna grow back there again. I was lucky that one time, and I'm never gonna see it again. But this year I went for a walk the other day, looked at the exact same tree where I had seen the chicken of the woods mushroom 3 years before, and what do you know, it was there, and it was growing in 2 different places. But I've just got to hope that it's still there. I hope that no one else has come here and found it before me and taken it. So I've come prepared with a basket, a nice willow basket to put my finds in, and also my good old foraging knife. Oh, look at that. You just can't miss it, can you? It's just glowing in the forest. Chicken of the woods. It has a crazy texture to it. It's like really soft. And it should be really like tasty at this stage because it's really young at the moment. You just don't think things like this even exist. Until I started looking for mushrooms and finding them, I would have never even known there was something like this out there. First piece in the basket. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to batter it, and then this is going to go in the pan and fry it like you would with a chicken breast or something. Probably 400 grams, I reckon, of chicken of the woods mushrooms. Amazing. Really strong, mushroomy smelling thing. And yeah, this is the same tree, the exact same tree. I think it's a cherry. And I found chicken of the woods mushroom on it 3 years ago. Anyway, we've got our food. I'm gonna leave the rest of it there because it'll be interesting to see how big that grows over the next few days or weeks. I'm not that clued up on different wild foods you can find. I'm sure an expert would have found a lot of other things today, but I have found something else that I know what it is, and this is wood sorrel. They look really pretty actually. So I'm just gonna collect a few of these. They taste like acidic, like a lemon or apple peel. Quite nice actually. I've heard if you eat too much of them they can be toxic because the oxalic acid in it is like not really good for you. The tricky thing about foraging wild food is like getting started, like learning the species like really well so you can ID them and know what you're picking, because obviously you don't want to pick something that's poisonous. And there's hundreds and thousands of different species of plants and fungus out there, so you want to know you're picking the right thing. But yeah, that first stage of learning the foraging hobby is definitely the trickiest. But if you get to know an area, like you get to know a certain woodland that you walk regularly and you go there often, you start to know the times of year that you find certain things, and it just becomes a lot easier to find stuff. For example, where I'm walking today is where my parents live, so I come here quite a lot, and I knew where there was a chicken of the woods tree, and then also I knew where I could find the wood sorrel and also some wild garlic, which is just here. Last species of the foraging walk, wild garlic. Whoa, it smells really strong. Oh, I guess the downside of having a black van is that it gets really hot. It's boiling in here. This'll do for a nice spot to cook my lunch. I guess before I start I should get my kitchen area clean and tidy. I've got this massive knife holder for just this one knife. Before I start cooking anything, I should let you know what I'm planning on actually doing. I was looking up recipes, chicken of the woods recipes, and I came across a recipe from a guy who calls himself the Forager Chef. I found this on his website, and it's chicken of the woods, like fried chicken of the woods. So it's like fried chicken, but it's fried chicken of the woods. It basically involves lightly battering the chicken of the woods with flour and egg, and then to go with that I've got some like sweet chili sauce to like dip it in. It should be crunchy, it should be really nice. So the first step involves taking a knife. This one is a beautiful knife that I made. Very happy about this still. And I'm just gonna slice this into thin pieces. It cuts like butter. Got some Class A eggs. Would you believe it? Eggs are graded into classes, and these ones are A. Tell you what, just cooking in this van is like, just doing this prep here is a lot more enjoyable than it used to be when I had no space. Flour. So the process of battering is taking a piece of mushroom, dunking it in the flour, and that will mean that the egg sticks to it. So I'd put it in the egg, just make sure it's all covered, and then you could, I guess, dip this again in breadcrumbs or crushed up chips or something. I'm just going to dunk it back in the flour. Chicken of the woods ready to fry. There were a couple of other things on the recipe that I completely forgot. Some smoked paprika into the flour, cayenne pepper, and we go again with the process of battering. I didn't realise how much of this mushroom we had. I'll just chop up the other ingredients. Coriander, lettuce, my wood sorrel leaves as well. I'm so happy with the new wagon. It's just so much more ideal. I've got so much space, and also when it's sunny I get shade from this. If it's raining I get shade, and it's just really decent. Oh, I'm well happy about this whole setup. Pan. It says on the recipe to add butter, but also oil. I see lots of recipes that say add half butter, half oil, and I can never quite work out why, but I guess it's means you get a mix of flavours. Butter. As you can see, lots of oil has splattered everywhere, which isn't ideal. I think in the future I want to try and do my cooking outside so that I don't make the van covered in oil. It just looks so tasty. I don't know how, but it does it tastes like really juicy chicken. Wild garlic, lettuce, coriander. Look at that, folks, that is a proper plate of food. And to finish it off, I've got some sweet chili sauce. Yum. Some more salt. Let's go for it. Let's see what it tastes like. This particular mushroom is so soft and juicy. You put it in your mouth and you get the crunch from the outside of the batter, but then it just kind of, it's like almost liquid on the inside. It's crazy. so tender. I can hardly taste like the mushroomness in it. I just taste like juicy chickeniness. It's really good. I can't believe that. I found the mushroom in the forest earlier, and now it's inside me. I can't tell whether I actually like the taste of the mushroom or whether I just like fried things. I think you could fry anything and I would eat it and enjoy it. The texture of this mushroom is incredible. That was tasty, and that was a fun adventure today. Doing some foraging and cooking and trying out my van. Over the next few months, I want to convert this thing into a camper, and I don't want to get too distracted by going on adventures and traveling. So my plan is to stay at home, work on this van, convert it, and then once it's done, then I can really like celebrate and go traveling and have some fun. So that's the plan for the future. Cheers for watching, everyone. I'll see you next time. That was good. That was really good. Now I've got to do all the tidying up. Isn't it so beautiful?